The game. We all woke up in the same room. Me and 5 other kids. I was the first. I didn't know where I was or who they were, so I was debating whether or not to wake them. I was starting to panic a little, so I decided to. They were all human. They groaned when they woke up. Then they started panicking, screaming when they saw where they were. I waited for them to calm down. We didn't say anything for a while. I spoke up. We're all in the same unknown room. Instead of crying and waiting, we find a way out. By the way, my name is Austin. Little by little, the rest of them introduced themselves. There was Max, Mark, Tyler, Anna, and Mike. We started plotting on how we got there. Kidnapping, sleepwalking, hangover, anything. That's when Anna noticed a door. "Look," she cried. We looked to where she was pointing and saw a heavy wooden door. It didn't look locked, but sure enough was. When I tried the knob, it wouldn't budge. But my contact with the door must have triggered a recording, because I heard a voice say, "Welcome to the game chamber." And a high-pitched, shrill male voice sounded like he belonged in an insane asylum. We all looked at each other in fear, and the shrill voice continued, I am the game creator, the master of all games. We're going to play a very fun game. Only one of you will survive." We looked at each other, devastated at the news that we only just met each other, but 5 of us are going to die. The voice continued, "The object of the game is this. For every escape, one of you must die. You have to kill each other. Good luck." And with that, we were on our own. We just looked at each other. For the first time in 20 minutes, I looked around the room. The walls were sickly yellow. There were no windows. All there was the door. There had to be some kind of key around here. There were a few cubby doors and nothing else. The ceiling was about 2 feet above my head. The room was about the size of a normal bedroom. I walked around the room, checking cubbies. There was nothing except for the last one. I opened the door to find a key. I was so happy. I raced over to the door and I tried the key. No luck. I got so heated I slammed this door with my foot. Something rattled on the other side. I instantly lost my anger and was looking around for a crowbar or something. Everyone else was staring at me with a lost expression. Then they started looking around. Tyler yelled, and we went to see what was the matter. We gathered around him and looked at where he pointed. There was a keyhole. I slowly looked down and noticed there was a key still in my hand. I knelt down slowly, put the key in the lock, and turned it. It made a faint click noise when it hit the spring. Slowly, carefully, I opened the little door, reached my hand inside, and pulled out a revolver. I held in my hand, terrified. There came the hushed whispers from everyone. I got up, cocked the revolver, and aimed it at Max. Tyler stood in his way, saying, "Come on, man, I don't care if he said that one of us has to die. I will not let you shoot anyone." I didn't want to shoot anyone. I just wanted to get out. I shot Tyler's shoulder. He screamed and collapsed. There was a big red hole in his arm where I shot him. It was exposing some bone. The whole group, including me, rushed over to him. Max tied a tourniquet on his arm to stop the bleeding. I dropped the gun and said, "We may not have to kill, but all of us have to be injured." I took him over to the door. I wasn't about to lose him, not now. I brought him to the door, which was where I first noticed a handprint scanner. I took his hand and soaked it with his blood. It was just a theory, but it worked. I pressed his hand to the door, and it unlocked, stating Tyler's first and last name. The next door was exactly the same, except that there was nothing in it. No door, no cubby, no key. We were all confused. That is, until we saw the sign on the ceiling. It was red and almost illegible, but it said, "The only way to leave is to die." one must kill in order to free self. If you don't heed this warning, then shame on you to be stuck here." As if on cue, the creepy voice came back. It told us that in order to escape, one of us has no choice but to kill. It said that there was a knife somewhere in the room. We just have to find it. We had no idea where to look. Once in a while, the voice just laughed at us. There was absolutely nothing in the room. That is, until Anna shouted again. There was a brick in the wall that was odd, different from the rest. I think it was because it was a different shade of yellow. But it didn't fit in, like someone forgot a brick 2 weeks later and just stuffed it in. It was actually fairly loose, which horrified me because I knew what was on the other side. A new, thick, razor-bladed kitchen knife. It was stained with blood that told me how previous victims died. It was Candace that took it out and stabbed Max in the gut with it. She screamed out what she did when Max collapsed on the floor, losing blood quickly. Mike took it away from her, and as he put Max out of his misery, Max was losing so much blood he died within 5 minutes. The voice came back. "I see that didn't take long to come to your senses. Let's see. 1 down, 5 to go." "Oh, goody. I can't wait to see this show. You may leave." With that, a secret door slid open. Tyler's truckette was falling to pieces. It was blood-soaked and soggy. He kept losing blood. I, with the help of Mary and Mike, carried Tyler to the next room. This room was completely dark, and with my sensitive hearing, I noticed a sort of strange frequency. It gave me a headache. No one else could hear it, though. I asked around if anyone heard a low noise frequency, and they all said no. I got really pissed off at this and just growled. That's all I could do. And that noise just drove it further. We had already been in here for 10 minutes, but I needed to get out. The only way to do that is to kill. Whatever it takes, I'm willing. I regret not bringing the knife. I didn't want to hurt anyone that's innocent. My final decision was Tyler. He was the most vulnerable, being injured and dying and in pain. I would just put him out of his misery, like Mike did to Max. I crept forward slowly, not making a sound. I'm thankful it was pitch black in here. It just makes it that much easier. He was going to die anyway. Why not make it now? I balled up my fists and started hammering his face. It was so sudden that all he could do was groan. I kept beating him until I felt his face cave in. I shoved my hand into his head, through his skull, felt around until I felt his brain. Then I clutched it and ripped it out. It made a sickening, wet sound as it left the remains of his head. The door to the next room opened. 2 down, 4 to go.